Nico, thanks a lot for coming to the Superior Lounge in LNFR store. So, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
I'm one of the founders of Berlin Fashion Film Festival. It's one of the main leading events with regard to fashion film. It's something that we started about 3 years ago.
So, how did it come that what have you done before that you found the Fashion Film Festival?
Well, I came to Berlin about four years ago, and that's where I met my current business partner, Lisa Filippini. And we started off doing events for young fashion designers. So we started doing presentations, catwalks, exhibitions, showrooms. And one of the events that we started working on was Berlin Fashion Film Festival. And it sort of started as something very, very small, and it sort of grew into its own big international event.
Okay. Do you think Berlin is a good place for a fashion film festival?
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of visibility and name, I think it's a great place. I think it's got a lot of potential because of people recognize Berlin as a creative hub. People know Berlin to be an international place for creativity. People know Berlin to be something associated with films, and also fashion. I mean, it's something that obviously when you compete with other fashion capitals, it's very hard for Berlin to be in there in the traditional sense. But if you combine it with film, then I can't really think of anywhere better, really, to establish something like the Berlin Fashion Film Festival.
Mm-hmm. And Berlin Fashion Film Festival takes place during Berlin Fashion Week, always?
We did. We started off for the first 3 editions, we did it during Berlin Fashion Week once a year. This year we decided to change it. We're going to move it one month before. It's going to take place on the 4th and the 5th of June.
Okay.
The reason being because for us, it created a lot of competition in many ways with regard to the event, and also because we wanted to try and establish ourselves as our own event, not necessarily something to do with Fashion Week, but something to do with, filmmaking within different creative fields, including fashion.
Okay. And what's the focus on your fashion film festival? There are a couple of them around the world. What's your focus?
It's an interesting question because we also started by doing just saying we're going to do a fashion film festival, and we didn't really know exactly where to start from, what a fashion film was, but also because a fashion film is in itself in its infancy. It's developing and it's growing, but it's still not established. So I don't know if you've seen in the past year and 2 years, there's been a series of fashion film festivals that have developed and grown in different cities, and so we had to think about our own focus. And we see ourselves as the connectors between different creative people. So what we're trying to do is we bring together filmmakers, photographers, production agencies, advertising agencies, press to do with film and fashion, and we bring them together and we present the best creative work, the best international creative work to do with fashion film.
Okay, it's always a long period to establish such a festival. So you're now quite established, would you say?
Yeah,
that?
I mean, I would say that it's taking us 3 editions. Let's say, I don't know. It really depends on what you mean by established, because there's different versions of what established is. But I would say it's yes, people know up within the fashion film industry, within the fashion industry in itself as well, people know about Berlin Fashion Film Festival, and people know about what we do.
Okay.
And the fact that there's been more and more fashion film festivals coming up, can only do us good. It creates more competition, but it also raises awareness over the genre of fashion film.
Okay. How do you compose the jury?
That's one of our strong points, I would say. That's one of our focuses. Since the very beginning, this is something that we wanted to make sure that we did well. We picked only the best, creative people within, established creative people within different fields. So we had, for example, Diane Pernay, who's one of the most established fashion bloggers in the world. We had Casey Neistat last year, who's one of the like an internet sensation. He's got thousands of followers on YouTube, and he's established his reputation that way. We've had the lead curator of Vimeo, Jordan McGarry. So it's really a question of bringing together the most established creatives from the film, fashion, and film and advertising industries together as part of our jury.
And who can submit its fashion films to you?
That's pretty much up to the filmmaker, really. Like, we're looking for production agencies, advertising agencies, filmmakers, independent directors, brands. We have a lot of brands, and we have fashion designers as well. So anyone who sees film as a potential medium to express fashion as a subject, as a theme. So these are, let's say, the people that submit to us.
And you're currently still in the phases of submitting, that people can submit? How long?
We have now we have until the end of March.
The end of March.
Yeah.
So you're expecting some more to come?
Yeah, I mean, like, for us, it's always interesting to see how it works, the waves of people, because obviously you launch, then you have some, and then December is always like Christmas panic, because no one can think of anything else but trying to get everything else done. And then for us now, it's only just sort of restarted. So we have a good 3 months to expect submissions. And it's funny because like most of the submissions come, let's say, within the last month, and we have like a growth. The first year we had like about 200, then 400 in the second year, and then about like 500, I thought 600 in the third. So it's been growing, which also means that we have to watch all of them.
Sure. Yeah. So how's the process? So you got let's say 600 submissions, and then you do a pre-selection, and then the jury is going through it.
Exactly. So let's say like all the founders of Berlin Fashion Film Festival, we sit down, we look at every submissions. We have a point system that say best cinematography, best editing. Does it evoke something on an emotional level? Does it make you feel something? And according to that point system, then we make a pre-selection. It's not so mechanic, because we've realized that there's also points where we just say, like, we really don't think that film fits in that, or we really want that film to be in as part of that. So at the end of it, then we go through the whole process again, and we discuss the selection, and then we send it to the jury, and then the jury makes that decision as to who the winners are.
So 4th and 5th of June is
4th and 5th of June, yeah.
the date. So yeah. All the luck.
Thank you
for that, and thanks a lot for visiting us in our Superior Lounge. Thanks a lot.
Lovely, thank you.